Ridge Meadows Hospital is a small, local health facility that opened in 1958. It has over 100 beds, thousands of staff, and Angel, the pet therapy dog.
You ready to go for a walk, please?
That's John and Yvonne McDonald and their dog, Angel. She's 9 years old, black and white, and a mixture of Maltese, Shih Tzu, and Japanese Chin. John and Yvonne tell me that Angel is very popular, even outside the hospital.
I live in Ridge Meadows, so walking through the street, sometimes Angel's walking behind me, sometimes she's walking forward. And I'll get a lady come up behind me and turn around and say, "Hi, Angel."
In fact, she's become a bit of a local celebrity.
And I'll turn around and I don't know who the person is. Or I'll get somebody to say to me, "Oh, you're Angel's dad, aren't you?" Yeah, I'm not a dog, but I'm Angel's dad.
John and Yvonne and Angel visit the hospital regularly as part of the volunteer pet therapy team. And they often stop by patients' rooms to provide some extra support in times of need.
A couple weeks ago, we were in the elevator, and this woman came up and asked if we could visit her dad's room. He was terminal. We expected to die in a day or two. So we said, sure. We came up, and as soon as he saw Angel, his face just lit up.
Yvonne says the next interaction made the patient's day.
So I said to the woman, take a picture, because this is your dad at probably his happiest moment. And Angel just let him caress her, and he was just radiant. That's the only word I could say. It was the best moment of his life. And the daughter was crying, and it was just a perfect moment for her to remember her dad by.
Pet therapy has a lot of benefits. It reduces anxiety, improves mental health, and can provide a calming moment for stressed patients.
We had one lady in IV therapy. She had her blood pressure test taken an hour previously, and the nurse had came up and said, "We'd like to do it again." Previously, her blood pressure was 200 over something.
It was at that moment Angel stepped in and soothed the patient before the nurse could take their blood pressure again.
The doc had been sitting in her lap for about 10 minutes, and then they took the blood pressure test, and her blood pressure was down to 135.
John and Yvonne also tell me that children are especially open to pet therapy, and their behavior often changes once they see Angel.
Sometimes we'll be walking through the hospital, and they will page us to go to emerge because it's a child that's not sitting properly, as it's getting his blood test or whatever, and they'll call us in. And we'll have Angel do a couple of tricks just to get the child's mind off what the nurse is doing, and boom, it's done.
You see, this kind of interaction was something they had witnessed before, firsthand. And their previous therapy dog had a similar effect on their grandson.
He's disabled, and we watched how the dog interacted with him. So, as I say, then we reached out to figure this dog's got a special gift.
This motivated John and Yvonne to get that dog assessed at St. John's Ambulance. Their journey led them to volunteering at long-term care communities with that dog.
We ended up taking over the program for St. John's, where we had 2 dogs. Within a couple of years, we had 50 dogs, visiting every nursing home, drug rehab, school libraries. We did a reading program. So there's definitely a call for it, and it's very, very rewarding.
Now, it's just them and Angel at Ridge Meadows Hospital, making everyone's day just a little bit brighter.
If we walk down the hallway, you just have to look at people walking towards us. First thing that happens is smile. They may not pet the dog, but they will smile.
For On the Coast, I'm Danielle Piper.